I'm Shane Work on the Glengarry, and we've had the boat for about 6 years, and we use it mainly for towing lumber scows from Campbell River Mills down to Crofton, Nanaimo, Vancouver, and we take another barge with a ramp on it, and we usually go to the west coast and pick up equipment, logging equipment, whatever the case may be. This is Kim Peterson right here.
Hi.
Glengarry, it's run by a Lister Blackstone 6-cylinder, has about 700 horsepower. We got another small 4-cylinder Lister that we use to pump up the air because it's an air start engine. We got another small little 4-cylinder motor that we use for a genset and a winch motor. You want to go down in the engine room? Here, we'll go down in the engine room. It's turboed. I'll get some lights on here. It's got a 9-foot draft to the boat, and that's the boat. Air starts there. We got 2 big air tanks. We got to have 300 pounds of air to start the motor. There's our turbo here. Side panels, we just pull right off the motor. If we want to do anything with the injectors, bleed the injectors if she dies, run out of fuel or anything. These gauges up here tell us all the temperature on each individual cylinder. You go down here. This is actually how you start the boat with this wheel right here. You got to open up a seacock that's down over here, and then you got lube, an oil lube down in the front of the engine, and you also have an oil lube down under here that you open up, down under there. This is your day tank. All your oil's in here for the boat. It's the lube sump tank. When you want to start the motor, you got to open up your oil valves, open up your seacock. You go and you pump up your oil right here. You pump it up to 20 pounds pressure. And you walk around to the back of the motor here. You take this bar right here. Oops, and you crank her over a couple times manually. Then you walk back to the front of the engine. And as you get back to the front of the engine, you just give her a few more pumps here. Open up your air valves. You should have 300 pounds of air to start it. Open them up, and then you turn this lever to the start position, and she'll fire up. This lever right here is your forward and reverse. And it's worked on a chain that goes up through the stack here into the wheelhouse. And we've got all the valves for engine room wash, down cab and sink, hot water, top deck wash. All our valves are listed: motor, cold water, toilet. That's our small lister. That pumps up our air, and that also pumps out our billages, engine room billage, port, starboard, forward holes, our fire deck wash. It's all run by this here. We engage it by this lever here, right here. The orange, everything orange is all hydraulics, and all the yellow piping is lube oil. This here back here is this runs our genset, all the power for our lights. It works off this motor right here, and this is the kill switch right here. Out, it's disengaged, in, it's engaged, and that gives us power for lights when we're running. This is our gear. That's a day tank that holds all our hydraulic fluid, and this big yellow tank up here holds all our lube. These are our fuel tanks in here, the yellow ones, the inspection plates, and all the red hose, our piping is fire. Batteries back in here. We got a set of batteries there. Batteries on either side of the boat, auxiliary batteries in the gray boxes. And that's pretty it. If we need lube or anything, this is where we get our lube from our day tank to add to the engine. Right here, we just crank this lever into the bucket, and then we dump it into the forward sump tank. And that's pretty well the Glengarry. Engine room door up there. It goes into, on the other side of the stairway, the orange door there. That leads into one of the staterooms and out into the galley. So if you're in rough weather, you don't have to leave the inside of the boat to come down into the engine room. New head, new staterooms. All the woodwork's been redone, all new. Everything you see in here is new. All drawers going up the stairs. We got some of them listed with videos and light bulbs and batteries and whatnot, so they're easy to find in the night. You don't have to worry about looking for anything.
Eh?
Yeah, very comfortable.
And what's with the picture of the pig?
That was bought from my dad and my mom.
If we were going to have any women or pigs on the boat, it was going to be that one. That was the story behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we told him. Who said we were going to tell him to?
Ooh, nice up here.
This is the wheelhouse. You can work the boat. This is your shifter, forward, reverse, and throttle. This one, and there's one right there too that has the gauges on it. All these bulbs light up, and this is your dimmer. So for your alarm to see if anything's gone wrong, you can tell right there. Your oil pressure gauge, gear gauge. Jog to run the boat. You can run the boat here. You can run the boat here. You can run the boat here, or you can steer with the wheel or the pilot right there. And we also have a handheld remote control that's right in the little box right here. I can get for you and show you if you want. This is our paddle board.
So how many stations do you have on the boat total?
Total stations, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
At the stern you
Yes, we got one right there at the stern.
So you have really good visibility on this boat as well.
Oh yeah. I need the keys, Kimmy. They're by the coffee pot. This is our alarm panel. You can see that the engine room needs to be pumped out with the light on there.
I'll try my mom again.
Easy access to the back deck. Here's our life raft right there, tied off. This is our e-burp right there. Vent hatches. Vent hatches into the engine room so that she can get more air. Good visibility, lots of air there. We usually run with those open so she gets air. Your stern station, throttle control, forward, reverse, steering, jog, floodlights so you can see when you're backing up and what you're gonna hit or not. And over here, these here go into the staterooms for venting for the staterooms, right here. This hatch right here is a safety hatch into one stateroom. Open her up. She's tied to the cupboard there. That's just the stateroom. And here's the stack. We got water to wash the decks off or whatever. We got a valve right there. We just open up the valve and we got hot water right there. Another door to get into the wheelhouse. Antenna for TV. Gotta have TV when you're on the boat.
How about GPS? You got GPS?
Yeah, got GPS. I can show you all. Yeah, this is one radio. This is our radar, daylight radar. GPS, autopilot. Another radio phone there. And then we got another radar right there.
Your function on this boat is?
I'm the deckhand, cook, and I've worked on other boats. I was the mate on the Savage Warrior. I was on the Warrior when it went down off Tyee Spit.
Really?
I was on, I used to be on the Camel. I've been on the Camel when it went down off Race Point, rolled over, filled up with water.
How'd you get off?
I actually walked off the side of the boat, on the bottom of the boat, right off the bottom of the boat onto the log tow with a rope and tied the boat up. And then I've been on tugboats for about 8-9 years now. Before that I used to build boats. And I worked on the Standoff. That was the first tugboat I worked on for Bob Hunter, Seymour Narrows Towing. And then he bought the Camel, and I worked on that for about 1.5 years, and then I started skippering that boat up to Butte Inlet, taking log tows and stuff out of Orford River and a few other places down to the hole in the wall. And worked for him for about 4 years or 5 years or so, and had some good experience there. Was on the Camel assisting the Shamar, which is the tug directly behind us at the fuel dock. And we were coming by Race Point, and we were the assist boat, and the log tow tried to overtake us, rolled the boat over on her side, and she started filling up with water. And as she rolled over, I was standing on the bow, and I walked off the bow onto the side of the boat, on the bottom of the boat, right off the bottom of the boat onto the log tow with the rope from the bow, tied up the boat. We had two front hatches, the front hatch and the back hatch in the boat. They didn't take any water on, so the engine room filled up with water, the wheelhouse filled up with water, so she was just rolled over. So we got another tugboat, the Shamar, to push on the side against the log tow, and then we got pumps in her, got her back up on her feet again, and had to redo the engine, but that was one joy ride. I was also on the Savage Warrior when she went down off Tyee Spit right here, and I've been on some other good rides. A few months back we lost a barge on the west coast. She's at the bottom of Lippy Point right now, and camp barge. She went down on us.
What was on the barge?
It was a camp barge. It had like a big house on top, like with bunks and a cook shack, and there was like a pool room and foosball tables, stuff like that in it, eh? And there was a 4x8 hole on the top deck of the barge that they used to go down in the barge where they had the pool room that wasn't sealed, and she ended up taking on water there, and we were in pretty good 5-foot swells and stuff, and she started getting the sideways motion, and she filled up, and she probably took 14 hours to go to the bottom. She went over in a hurry, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. She was right upside down, and we had her till about 11 o'clock at night, pulling her upside down to try and get her into so we could salvage her. And she went to the bottom of the ocean, that Lippy Point on the west coast there.